Imagine getting a call saying that if you want, you may join the elite company of less than 1,000 individuals who have not only seen space, but also orbited the Earth. Oh, and the mission is set to launch in approximately 6 months. Isn't it like a dream? That was the phone call received by 3 Americans earlier this year, and it wasn't the kind of 15-minute thrill flight to the edge of space that Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic have lately offered. We're talking about a 3-day trip in space, the kind of stuff NASA astronauts train for their entire life. Hayley Arceneaux, Sian Proctor, and Chris Sembroski blasted into space aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon as part of the Inspiration 4 mission. They were joined by billionaire entrepreneur Jared Isaacman and geologist Sian Proctor, both of whom have piloting experience but no spaceflight experience. First of all, what is the Inspiration 4 mission? Inspiration 4 is the world's first all-civilian orbital mission. Inspiration 4 will depart from Kennedy Space Center's iconic Launch Complex 39A, the embarkation site for Apollo and Space Shuttle missions, and fly over a low Earth orbit for many days, continuously eclipsing more than 90% of the Earth's population. This milestone, named in honor of the 4-person crew that will raise awareness and cash for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, symbolizes a new era for human spaceflight and exploration. On Wednesday evening, September 15th, SpaceX launched its Inspiration 4 mission from NASA's facility in Florida, successfully putting its all-civilian crew into orbit. The mission marks the first time Elon Musk's firm has flown a private crew into space, as well as the first time a crew has been made up completely of non-professional astronauts. Commander Jared Isaacman, pilot Sian Proctor, medical officer Hayley Arceneaux, and mission expert Chris Sembroski make up the Inspiration 4 crew. Isaacman funded the multi-day journey for an unknown sum, with the primary objective of the spaceflight raising up to $200 million for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. This was all funded by Isaacman and made feasible by SpaceX and their autonomous Crew Dragon spacecraft, the first new crewed spacecraft outside of China since the space shuttle debuted decades ago. Billions of other humans this mission is forgiven for asking why it matters that yet another wealthy individual has funded a journey to space and invited a few random to join them. Why SpaceX's Inspiration 4 mission matters to everyone. To start, it's important to remember that new modes of transportation have generally gone through the same process. Trains and planes began as elite experiences before revolutionizing our lives. This implies that the Inspiration 4 crew may only be the first of many ordinary individuals to travel to space or beyond. Elon Musk has indicated that his next-generation Starship might be utilized for super-fast international flights via space, potentially with a lower carbon footprint than existing commercial jetliners. Inspiration 4 lays the groundwork for the concept of sending it into orbit as a passive passenger, freeing up space for transportation and other potential uses. If you believe, as I do, that expanding humanity's footprint beyond our planet is likely to improve life on our planet, Inspiration 4 is a significant step forward in that generations-long journey. I'm not confident that Mars is the best place to build a city or that living on orbiting space stations will be feasible anytime soon. But here are a few things I do know. Industrialization on Earth frequently has a negative impact on the planet's delicate ecosystems, and some of that industry could be relocated to space. Billionaires in space today could be the first step toward factories or power plants in space tomorrow, assisting us in finally mitigating climate change. It's exciting to think about what parts of daily life will be influenced by SpaceX and Inspiration 4 in the year 2050. The Inspiration 4 launch is an example of what can happen when the public and private sectors collaborate, said NASA Deputy Administrator Pamela Melroy ahead of liftoff. Creating a sustainable economy in low Earth orbit, including commercial transportation to space for people and crew, as well as commercial space stations, is critical to our future on Earth and in space, Melroy tweeted. At 5:03 p.m. PT, SpaceX's Falcon 9 engines roared to life and blazed the trail through the Florida night sky. It is the first mission to launch a crew of private citizens into orbit. There are no professional astronauts on board. During the livestream, the rocket's SpaceX team celebrated each milestone of the launch with hollering and cheering. SpaceX's private Inspiration 4 mission splashes down safely in the Atlantic Ocean. On Saturday, SpaceX successfully returned its Crew Dragon spacecraft from orbit, with the capsule carrying the 4 members of the Inspiration 4 mission back to Earth and 3 days in space. The Crew Dragon capsule Resilience sank in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Cape Canaveral, Florida. Thank you so much, SpaceX. That was a wild ride for us, and we're only getting started. From the capsule, Inspiration 4 Commander Jared Isaacman said. SpaceX loaded the capsule onto its recovery ship less than an hour after splashdown, and the crew exited, each giving a wave and thumbs up after disembarking. The crew will then be helicoptered from the ship to NASA's Kennedy Space Center, which is only a short flight away from the splashdown location. Inspiration 4 mission director Scott Poteet took part in a post-splashdown press conference from the SpaceX recovery ship. Shortly after the splashdown, Elon Musk tweeted his congratulations to the crew. The historic private mission, which included Isaacman, pilot Sian Proctor, medical officer Hayley Arceneaux, and mission specialist Chris Sembroski, orbited the Earth at an altitude of 590 kilometers, which is higher than the International Space Station and the greatest distance humans have traveled above the surface in years. The capsule, which was a free-flying spacecraft, did not dock with the ISS and instead circled the Earth at a rate of 15 orbits per day. Benji Reed, Senior Director of Human Spaceflight Programs at SpaceX, told reporters after the launch that the company's sales and marketing teams had received an increased number of inquiries from people interested in purchasing a private spaceflight. According to him, SpaceX can fly 5 or 6 private missions per year. If there is demand, Reed said, we'll want to look at what we can do to continue to grow that capability. This is SpaceX's third return of astronauts from space, and the second for this capsule, which previously flew the Crew 1 mission for NASA on a trip that returned in May. Both previous SpaceX astronaut missions splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico, so this is the first time an astronaut has returned to the Atlantic Ocean. In recent months, space has seen several high-profile, extremely wealthy tourists. This so-called billionaire space race, not my word, it is mentioned in CNET.com, began in July when Richard Branson flew his Virgin Galactic spaceplane into the upper layers of the Earth's atmosphere. Soon after, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos rode his rocket even further. However, whether they made it to space has been hotly debated. Most space enthusiasts agree that these short suborbital flights aren't the same as entering low Earth orbit. The Inspiration 4 mission would not be debated. This flight elevates the crew a floor above Bezos and Branson and differs from those flights in significant ways, even though it was funded by an entrepreneur. When SpaceX announced the mission in February, Isaacman purchased the entire flight and donated 3 of the Crew Dragon seats to general public individuals. He gave St. Jude Children's Research Hospital 2 seats, handpicking Arceneaux, a childhood cancer survivor who now works as a physician's assistant at the hospital and serves as Inspiration 4's medical officer. The second was given away in a raffle to those who donated to the hospital. The seat was won by a friend of Sembroski, who gave it to him as a gift. Sembroski is the mission specialist, and he will assist in the management of payload science experiments. Isn't it true that Inspiration 4 is not only making history but also changing the industry? What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comment section below.